Hello friends and welcome back to my channel. Today we are talking about fungal acne, symptoms, things to avoid, and how to treat. This is a newer style of video for me, so if you do enjoy these types of videos, be sure to drop a like. If you are new here, my name is Nadia and I have been a practicing esthetician for over 10 years. Be sure to subscribe to my channel and hit that notification bell so that you are notified whenever there's a brand new upload. According to Cleveland Clinic, fungal acne or malassezia folliculitis is an infection in hair follicles that is often confused with common acne. It causes clusters of small, itchy red bumps on your skin. Antifungal medications can treat the infection, and there are ways to prevent the rash-like symptoms. The bumps may at times get bigger or turn into whiteheads or small pockets of white or yellow pustules. Symptoms of fungal acne may include uniform 1 to 2 millimeter bumps or pustules, intense itching, and sudden breakouts. Fungal acne, we should note, does not respond to traditional acne medications or skincare ingredients. The bumps are typically all the same size, and unlike bacterial acne, which is a lot more common, which can also feel deep and painful, fungal acne causes a very noticeable, often intense itching, burning, or stinging sensation. There are generally no blackheads or deeper cysts related to fungal acne. So fungal acne can sometimes be confused with acne, as they both cause pimples. Bacterial acne happens when bacteria, oil, or dead cellular debris gets trapped inside your pores and it multiplies. Fungal acne is a fungal infection in your hair follicles. One of the main differences is that fungal acne can be itchy, whereas bacterial acne is not. Fungal acne presents itself as small, uniform red bumps on the skin, and in fungal acne we can also see scaly rashes as well as defined edges, whereas bacterial acne is oftentimes red, and it may present swelling along with localized warmth and pus. According to Cleveland Clinic, almost everyone has yeast on their skin naturally, but the fungus can cause a problem with hair follicles when they become damaged and the yeast gets inside. Lifestyle, environmental, and biological factors can trigger a yeast imbalance, such as heat, sweat, and humidity. Yeast thrives in warm, moist environments, so excessive sweating, exercising, or living in a humid environment can create an imbalance. Excess oils or fatty acids in your skincare can also feed the yeast. Heavy skincare products like rich, thick moisturizers or heavy comedogenic makeup can trap oils and clog pores that will feed this yeast. On the body, wearing tight, synthetic, or non-breathable clothing traps the sweat against the skin and causes the fungus to further multiply. If you are dealing with fungal acne, you want to avoid coconut oil, olive oil, shea butter, polysorbates, and heavy creams. You'll want to switch over to lightweight, oil-free, or water-based moisturizers. You'll want to avoid fermented ingredients, as they directly feed and mimic this yeast. You'll want to look for non-comedogenic formulas, and I highly recommend using Sezia or Folliculitis Scout, which I have been using recently myself, to verify that your products, your current skincare products, are fungal acne safe if you are experiencing fungal acne. This is painful to say, but if you are dealing with fungal acne, you'll want to avoid traditional European or relaxing facials, as they typically rely on heavy facial massages with rich massage oils or heavy masks and creams, as well as the facial steamer, which can create some heat. Even though it's very relaxing, it'll also add moisture to the skin. This creates a hot, humid environment that can cause an imbalance. Dermaplaning, you should also avoid this, as this uses a surgical blade to scrape away dead skin and your peach fuzz, revealing a smoother, more radiant complexion. However, if you are dealing with fungal acne and you do dermaplane and go over these fungal bumps, it can easily spread over the face into different areas. So the friction can also cause irritation, and that can also further compromise your skin's protective barrier, making it even more vulnerable. I know, it is so sad. K-Beauty sheet masks, which have been a favorite of mine recently, and it's probably what's making my fungal acne a lot worse. However, if you are dealing with fungal acne, these masks all pretty much prioritize deep hydration. Oftentimes, these formulations also include fermented ingredients, which you should definitely avoid if you are dealing with fungal acne. The mask itself also creates a barrier between your skin and the elements, which helps to trap heat and also sweat against the skin, especially if you sweat overnight. Slugging or heavy occlusive treatments should of course be avoided, and lasers and chemical peels should be avoided during flare-ups. These advanced treatments often require you to nurse your skin back to health by applying heavy creams or ointments, which then creates a breeding ground for aggressive fungal breakouts. So what treatments should you try instead? Hydrofacials are a great option as no steam is used. We often use a diamond-tipped pen that acts like a vacuum over the skin and clears pores without heavy friction. Serums tend to be oil-free and ferment-free. High-frequency treatments, which I have been using, use a glass electrode to generate oxygenating gas, which has a natural microbial properties that can help target the skin's surface. The ozone created by the high frequency creates an oxygen-rich environment that limits the yeast overgrowth. And high frequency also reduces inflammation. It encourages cellular healing as it boosts circulation and lymphatic drainage, which I love. It also helps to prevent secondary infections by keeping your skin sanitized. Lightweight chemical peels that are mandelic or salicylic acid based help to clear out the follicles without feeding yeast. These are water soluble acids, and I will be trying a mandelic acid peel soon, or I may have tried it before this video went up. So if that went up before this video, I will link it up above for you. A few ingredients that can target fungal acne are sulfur, zinc, salicylic acid, and niacinamide. Sulfur is naturally antifungal and antibacterial. It should help to reduce inflammation and unclog pores. Zinc can regulate yeast and bacteria in the skin, and niacinamide helps to regulate oil production as it also calms redness, strengthens the skin's protective barrier, and minimizes transepidermal water loss. You want to, of course, avoid fatty acids, oils, esters, and polysorbates. Some of my favorite products that I have been using while dealing with fungal acne have been hypochlorous acid spray. It is antimicrobial and it also helps to soothe sensitive, irritated skin. I recently reviewed the Unique Beta Glucan Power Moisture Serum. I will link my review to this up above if you are curious. This is also fungal acne safe. I have been using this to help hydrate and rebalance my skin to keep it plump while treating my own fungal acne. I have also been using The Ordinary's niacinamide 10% and zinc 1%, which contains niacinamide and zinc, and that helps to regulate yeast overgrowth on the skin. I will be reviewing this soon, so do stay tuned for that. And I have also been using the Skin 1000 for Madagascar Centella Ampule. Is also fungal acne safe. The other version of this, however, is not, and that is this one, which I did use when I thought I was dealing with an impaired barrier. However, this is the better option. For you if you are dealing with fungal acne. This version is fatty acid and oil free. It also only contains 7 ingredients that help to calm inflammation and repair a compromised barrier caused by fungal overgrowth. I will link my review to this up above if you're interested. I will say that I did start using some of these serums when I thought that my barrier was impaired. It wasn't until I streamlined my routine and introduced the Ordinary's niacinamide and the Versed Gentle Pore Clearing Serum, review also coming soon, that I saw a decrease in redness and bumps go away, which made me realize that I was in fact dealing with fungal acne and not just a compromised barrier. Fungal acne can go away when treated properly. It will not, however, improve with traditional acne medication or treatments because it is caused by a yeast overgrowth rather than bacteria. Certain skincare ingredients must, of course, be avoided. And if your skin does not improve in a few weeks, see a dermatologist. Tips on how to prevent fungal acne flare-ups: simplify your routine, avoid the heavy products, use gentle cleansers. One of my favorites recently has been the Vani Clear Gentle Cleanser. It has been my go-to even for makeup removal. I was a little apprehensive because I have been using the PCA oil cleanser, and that was of course feeding the yeast, and I was like, how am I just going to go from an oil to this to remove makeup? And I will say it does the job every time. So I had to swap my beloved PCA Daily Cleansing Oil for that. You want to shower or cleanse your skin immediately after working out. One thing that I have found is that if I have an intense run, which I did this week, I had a 5K in the morning, and immediately as I got into my car, I sprayed myself with this, and I also used a my high frequency machine the night before, but I used this and I didn't have a flare up, which I always expect, especially after I run a 5K. And this week was the first time where I didn't see a flare up. So I think I will continue to do that. And then of course, if you are suffering from fungal acne on your body, wear loose, breathable clothing. So that is all I have for you today. Let me know if you found this video helpful by giving it a like. Let me know if you have used any of the products, the devices, or the treatments I shared with you all today as well. Let me know how you have dealt with fungal acne yourself. I feel like we all learn from the community here. I obviously could not get to everything, so if you have anything that I may have forgotten to share, let me know in the comments down below. And thank you so much for spending your time with me today, and I will see you in my next one. Bye. I don't think that's right. Microbial. One of the main differences between no.